Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Zella. I wanted to do a video, and I was hoping to get it out there to you yesterday, in time for the full moon, but I kind of missed you by a day, and I apologize for that. But this will be for future reference to show you the things that I do on a full moon and how to um, energize your items and do some spell work here for the full moon. Like I said, it's the day after the full moon, but I'm still going to do this video for you and post it again as a reminder the next full moon. So I feel like the moon is our great light in the darkness. It has an incredible amount of energy. Um, I think it's underrated. The sun, obviously, we know the power of the sun and the energy of the sun and the daylight and the warmth. But in the night, in the darkness, it's the moon. How do we capture the moon's rays and the positive energy that the moon's light gives to us? And this is what I do. So on a full moon, I will recharge my crystals and my stones. And again, everything I do as far as spell work, I incorporate all 5 elements. So the elements we talked about is earth, air, fire, water, and spirit. And the spirit part is putting your energy into it. So when it comes to spells, I tell people to create their own words, their own thoughts, whatever you think of that makes most sense to you in your spell work, that's going to be the most powerful. So there's no magic words that you should repeat, because that's somebody else's thoughts and spells. So here's what I do, and maybe some of what I do can trigger some good ideas that you can incorporate into your own work. So what I do, these are some of my larger stone pieces here, and this window that I have them in is facing the direction where the moon is going to cross over in this direction and will be shining its rays through this window right here. When it gets warmer, I like to put my things outside so they can really draw the energy, but it's cold. It's in Minnesota. There's still snow on the ground, so I'm not going to do that. Um, okay, so these crystals here, I am recharging, and what that's going to do is bring the moon's rays through this window and recharge and refresh and give them a new glow. So what I did an experiment recently. Each of these different stones that I have are for different purposes. They have different energies, and I use them for different reasons. And I use different stones, but I found if I try to use some of these stones more than once, it's not going to work because it needs to be recharged and refreshed on its energy. And the moon's energy is a fantastic way to do that. For example, this one. This one that I have here is a rare green spirit quartz. Um, I forget the exact name of it, but it's from Tibet, and I have figured this out that this is my money stone. I had this in my pocket to show a friend one night, and I won quite a bit of money on slot machines or whatever, having this in my pocket. But when I tried to use it again, didn't work so much. So I'm going to refresh it, recharge its powers, and try again. Um, so we have the ability once a month, or once every 21 days, or the moon cycle there for the full moon, to recharge and refresh our items. These are my larger stones. And for my smaller stones, I am using these 2 crystal dishes here. And these belong to my great grandmother. So they're very old special crystal pieces that I have. In this dish, there are some of my smaller stones, and I just have them sitting out to absorb the moon rays. This dish, I actually put some sea salt water. I'm giving them a sea salt water bath, and that water will be very powerful. That water is going to collect and create crystal charged moon water, and refresh my crystals. The only thing about doing this, if you bathe them in a salt water bath after you're finished, you're going to want to rinse these really, really good so they don't form salt crystals on your actual crystals. So that's charging up in there. Okay, talking about moon water, I wanted to show you what I do when it comes to moon water, right? Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to show you, let me get this up here. Okay, so this is a large jar of, this is actual moon water that I made a few months ago. So that is for use for serious protection. So you've all heard a circle of salt around something is a witch's technique for protection. Moon water, I'll tell you, is amplified, even greater than just simple salt. Why? Because usually I mix it with actual sea salt and water combined, and then absorbing the moon's rays, that powerful light. It kind of creates, if you're effective, you're going to see like a rainbow, kind of like an oil slick effect in your water the very next day. It's amazing. And that is my proof. That's a signal to me that I was successful at drawing down the moon and capturing the moon's radiant light for future protection purposes. And I will use the moon water to put like a line of water on my windowsills or across my doorways. And I kind of envision everything I use the moon water for, creating a positive bubble, like you know how rainbows or there's bubble, you know, the rainbow effect in bubbles. That's what I picture creating. You know, visualize that. Whatever you're using the moon water, if you make a circle around, say, you want to make sure your car gets back and forth safely and it's protected and you don't get in an accident, or you want to protect a family member or yourself even from negative energy or bad things happening, I use the moon water and I cast a circle around it, and I envision creating a bubble force field shield, you know, of positive energy with that. So that's what I use that for. I'm going to show you a technique that I use for making it. And I'm going to fully take advantage of this time because there is still snow on the ground here in Minnesota. And I want to explain that if you really notice nature closely, it's incredible. Like noticing what snowflakes look like up close and the design of that, it's amazing to me. So I am going to capture this snow and turn it into moon water, and I'm going to create it for positive uses for later on. I'm going to capture these snowflakes and I'm going to charge them with the moon's rays. So I've got a jar. I've got another jar here, a simple mason jar, and I put some sea salt in it, and I'm going to actually go down here and show you. I'm going to scoop and I'm going to collect these beautiful, beautiful little snowflakes down here in the jar. So I scooped out some snow. If you live in a place where you still have snow, I mean, look at that sparkle. Look at the sparkle. It's just like tiny little glittering snowflakes. And I will have snowflakes and moon charged snowflakes captured to use months from now. All right. So what I'm going to do with this jar is set it outside somewhere where it can draw the moon. Okay. It's going to draw the moon. Now to amplify this, I'll tell you, if you have the ability to find a moonstone, this is one of my very special raw moonstones that I found in the desert of New Mexico one time with my dad. It was a special occasion, so this is a very powerful raw moonstone that I use. And to draw it down, to increase the chances of drawing down the moon, using crystals and stones that actually do that, like moonstones and selenite, is another one. Its name means of the moon, selenite. So if you have any of those stones, I just put it right in the jar. Right in the jar to attract the moon goddess's rays. And then, shh, honey, go back inside, please. Go back inside, it's cold. That's my 3-year-old, Ella. We'll see more of her in videos to come. But anyways, okay, I know. You know what? Okay, we will. I'll be right there. So I will put this jar outside in a location where it's going to be able to soak up the moon's rays right in here. And then I can bring this inside tomorrow and the snow will melt and it will stay melted because of the salt that it's mixed in with. And I can keep this and use this at a future time. I will actually sometimes bathe in moon water. I'll put moon water in my bath with lavender oil or something relaxing to recharge and boost my positive energy. I will water my plants. Sometimes my plants don't look so great and I'll use moon water for that. Moon water is one of my favorite resources and ways to use the water element. So, I talked about using the elements in your spells. So, earth. In the summertime, I have this planter, and different things filled with plants. So that serves my purpose of the earth element with the dirt. The crystals are also part of the earth, so that's the earth element going on. I've got my sea salt water and the moon water, so that's my water element. All right. Now we're going to talk about fire element. All right. So, sorry, it's kind of dark in here, but I'll show you this better in the day. But okay, there's some better light. We'll do it right here then.